So, what I want to cover first off today is just a simple kind of mental model that repeats with what I call strong triangles in every position. So Pete has me in the half guard. And a lot of people form this type of Z guard where they have a pull and a push, and they try to they connect the feet together like this. So the closer that Pete's, I'll try and do this in the video, you can see it, but basically the closer that Pete's ankle goes to the back of his knee, the stronger his pyramid actually is. So the more locked in this leg becomes, and basically the more compression he can generate. But it comes at a cost in that when his leg is like this, he also has a great big lever arm that forms. The more that he moves his ankle away from that knee, right, the less actual compression he has, because effectively he starts to sacrifice his pyramid. Does everyone see that basic principle? So the more his ankle goes towards the back of his own knee, the more this is protected, the more pressure he basically can generate within this. But you see how when he does this, he creates basically a great big lever arm. So that becomes extremely vulnerable. And you'll see that this idea is kind of all the way through jiu-jitsu in different positions as well. So if Pete has my back now, and he forms one of these body triangles where he goes here, it's extremely important that he takes me this way so that this lever arm again isn't exposed. So he has tremendous compression, but he has a lever arm here. He's fine if he's this way round, but he's usually going to start getting into problems unless it's extremely flexible when he ends up here, because all of a sudden now I'm on this lever arm, and you start seeing people doing these counters, which whether they're high percentage or not, you know, if he keeps it loose, it pops out, but there's basically a foot lock there, right? So notice how there's basically a foot lock there, and there's also ends up being a foot lock when he goes this way. Or it's just basically, it's very vulnerable. So anytime I get this, it's really easy for me to break that hold. And the thing about doing something like this, what I don't usually emphasize putting the arm in place, there's so much leverage here that it's super easy for me just to start opening his guard against that lever arm, right? And it's also one of these things that I'm not taking a huge amount of risk doing. So it's like Jeff Bezos talks about reversible decisions. You don't need a lot of planning on something that can easily, if I don't like anything that's going on here, you know, he's started trying to triangle me or whatever, I can bail on it. It's not like I'm going into a knee bar or some big, you know, big movement where I'm taking a risk and yeah, you can end up on my back, right? So it's important to recognise that when we're forming pyramids, that if we're going to form these very strong pyramids, that the lever arm is basically hidden from anywhere that it's in danger. Yeah. So I just want to have a little play to begin with this, where so here for example, so notice how he hides this, there's no pressure here. So when you put the knee back in front, yeah, you don't get to do both. So all we're going to do to begin, we're going to be nice and easy on people's toes because we're still getting warmed up. But all I really want you to do, no real major pressure. Just thinking about going to the end of their toes here. There's obviously a toe hold here, it's kind of a common counter, but just playing with breaking the hold. And then just getting the end of the guy. And we just have a play with this to begin with, like 3 for 3. I just want this basic concept of very strong pyramid, great big lever arm. Yeah? Let's give it a go. Grab a partner.